So I've added a banana because what is pilau without a banana? Yeah. Hey lovelies, welcome back to Make Life Easy with Faith. It's your girl Faith Odhiambo and I'm back again with another recipe video. Let's make some beef pilau. I hope you'll enjoy the video. Drop a comment down below if you do on how yours turn out. Let me know other ways that I can make pilau. Here's my rice. So I'll just take 1 glass full of it. That's enough. So I'll wash this, or should I add a bit? Let me add a bit of it. Yeah, that's perfect. So I'll wash it until the water is clear. Once the water is clear, I've just left it to soak as I prepare the other things for the pilau. Meanwhile, the beef is boiling nicely. For this particular recipe, I'll be using 3 onions, some garlic and ginger. So let me cut the onions, let me prepare the garlic and the ginger paste, and then we meet once I've cut them. The meat is well boiled. At this point, I'll remove it and just start making the pilau right away. In my sufuria, I'll add in cooking oil. So for pilau, you need a generous amount of oil. And you also need a generous amount of onions. So I've used 3 medium-sized onions. And on medium heat, I'll allow my onions to cook. Stir the onion as they cook so that they are all evenly cooked, to avoid having some burnt and some not cooked. The onions are now becoming brown. We want them to be brown enough to make the pilau brown, but we don't want them to burn. So make sure your heat is on the low so that you don't burn the onions. And as I said, keep stirring so that you don't have others cooked and others not cooked. And at this point, I'll introduce the ginger and the garlic. The ginger and the garlic, there you go. And then give this a stir. Ginger and garlic tend to burn faster, so it won't take long before you introduce the next ingredient, which I'll be putting our beef. So for the beef, I'll put it together with the broth that had remained. Together with the broth that had remained, so that is just little water to help this cook without the onions burning. I'll cover and allow it to cook. Remember, it has water, so it's safe to cover it and allow it to cook for a bit. This has been cooking. The meat has been cooking nicely. At this point, I'll put in my tomato paste. This is tomato paste. So I had some inner fillings of tomatoes that I had removed from tomatoes that I'm using to make kachumbari. I've also added those tomatoes here. Adding tomatoes is absolutely optional. It's not a must you add them if you are using tomato paste. The tomato paste and the tomatoes have been cooking for some minutes. I'll add in my pilau masala. Give it a stir. So I'll put in a small bit of water, just a small bit of water, and allow the pilau mix and the tomato paste to cook well. So I'll cover this and allow it to cook before we can introduce our rice. Our rice has been soaking for some time now. As you can see, it's softer. So I'll just remove the water and add it into the meat. So I'll just drain all the water. There you go. And let's add it to the meat now. This has been cooking for some time, so I'll just go ahead and add in salt. And give it a stir. The oil looks like it's a lot, but trust me, it's not, because tomato paste also tends to remove oil. And then once we add the rice, you'll see the oil will be evenly distributed. At this point, we can go ahead and add in our rice. And then give it a nice mix. Once I've mixed it well, I'll go ahead and add in water. Remember, I used 1 cup, 1¼ cup, so I'll use 2½ cups of water. I've added 2.5 cups of water. I'll allow this to now cook. There goes my pilau. It has dried up. Looks amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's how our pilau has turned out. Time to plate the kachumbari. I just love how it has turned out. Try this recipe and let me know how yours come out. Try this recipe and let me know how yours come out. I just love how mine has come out. Take a look at how the pilau looks like. So I'll just add in the kachumbari that I've made. Also, the recipe for this is up. Check it out. My kachumbari with kafirifiri kwa ubali. So I've added a banana because what is pilau without a banana? I'll have this with a very, very cold chilled soda. Yeah, until the next one, guys. Bye for now.